Welcome back! Today we're doing a mukbang and I'm answering some questions about asexuality. So I ordered some sushi so we can sit, we can talk. I haven't done a mukbang in so long. But also this was supposed to go live on Pride Month, but I got a little busy. A lot of uterus issues that I will talk about soon. So I had to like postpone this. But let me tell you what I'm having. This is so embarrassing. You really can't even call this sushi because everything here is either vegetarian, vegan. There is some chicken. This is one of my favorite vegan sushi in Dubai. I'm so glad I found this place. This is called Books. It's enoki. It's the mushroom and truffle sushi, both of them, chicken and chili oil dim sums. And this is just an embarrassing bunch. This is like vegan vegetarian sushi roll with chips on top, so that's why it's like crispy. Then we have, I don't want to say this. This is so embarrassing. Hot dog sushi. Yes, hot dog in the fucking sushi roll. Then we have some gyoza. It's also the beef, you know. And then I have some saucies. I must have some sweet soy sauce. I think that's called kepmenes. This is so sad. I'm literally butchering everything, but I have to have some sweet soy sauce. So I have that on the side over here. So yeah, let's jump right in. So I am asexual and I will tell you how I found out. It's such a funny story, but I will get to it. But I did ask on Instagram, if you have any asexuality questions, you want to ask an asexual, hit me up. Because it's still not the most talked about sexual orientation. People have questions and it's like such funny fucking questions, trust me. If you're like, what is asexual? It's a broad spectrum. I'm gonna go through it one by one, but mainly it's you have a lack of sexual attraction to boys, gals, like you just don't ever feel sexual. So there's asexual, aromantic, there's gray sexual, gray romantic, demisexual, demiromantic. This is what I see on Google. You can fall into demisexual, but it's just a mouthful, so I just say asexual instead. So demisexual is somebody who experiences no sexual attraction unless a strong emotional bond has been established. But anyway, let's get into the questions. They're so fucking funny. You guys are so hilarious. There are so many questions like, what happened to your pussy? Just fix your pussy. And I'm like, babe, I wish it was that easy to just fix up my vagina, but it's more than that. So the first question is, how did you find out? But yeah, in high school I used to go on dates and it used to be fun. After some time, like, you create a bond with this boy and then they just want to get fucking sexual and horny with you, like in the staircase and then the fucking elevator. And these are like 16-year-old boys. Everyone's fucking horny in that stage. And I'm just like, oh, I always just felt very, very uncomfortable. And I couldn't like explain to my girlfriends because they were like, I love making up with my sloppy 10-year-old boyfriend. Fucking saliva everywhere, bro. It's the best thing ever. And I'm like, how? I fucking hate this. Like, and of course there are some boys I've created a bond with and I'm like, oh my god, like he's the one, he's not the one. No, if you meet somebody at 18, they're not the one for you. Run away, they're not the fucking one for you. But at that time, I would be more open and I would feel a bit different. But still, when it comes to taking things far, I would just not be open to it. It just, something would just stop me and I don't know why. Because I'm in love with this boy. Like, I love him, I want to marry him. But I just don't want to go too far with this guy. And I never knew why. And it would just be very confusing because I was like, I'm in love with this boy. And my friends would be like, oh, do you have a thing for somebody else? And I'm like, I'm not. And this makes me very uncomfortable. The longest time I thought I was going to preserve my virginity and I want to be celibate. But I just realized that's just a stupid, dumb term that I was just taught in like church when I was 13 and I'm just carrying it in my head. Now as an adult, I just look back and I'm like, I was celibate by choice. It wasn't the Bible or the church or the Sunday class teacher. I was celibate because I wanted to be celibate. And then I was talking to this boy after 5 to 6 years. Mind you, this boy is like my high school best friend. And this dude kind of had a thing for me and he did ask me out. I remember this so vividly. He asked me out like in 10th grade and he's like, do you want to go out with me? Like, I want to take you out. Like, I like you. I liked him too, kinda, but I didn't like, maybe it was just attachment. I thought he was funny and like entertaining, but I think I kind of liked him. I don't know. Okay, this was like 10 years ago, but I was like, yeah, we can totally date, but we can't make out. I need like some time before like we could make out and have our first kiss. And he was so confused. He was like, oh, okay, like how much time do you need? I was like, 8 months. Yeah, in 8 months you can pop a baby. That's a lot of time. I think Fast and the Furious takes quicker to film season 10 by 8 months. There, that's how I found out. And you might be like, that doesn't prove anything. You're right, that doesn't prove anything. But I had a conversation with him like after we graduated. We went to different unis and like 6-7 years later I finally met up with him and I'm like, yo, you remember that conversation we had? And he was like, yeah, I remember that. And I was like, what is that all about? He tells me, you gotta look into asexuality, you're probably that. And I'm like, what is that? And I go on Google, I check this out. I thought LGBTQ just stopped after Q, but there's like a bunch of other alphabets after that, okay? So confused. I was like, this exists? Like, I didn't know this. So That's why when people have a lot of questions about asexuality, I don't think it's homophobia. Like, I think it's very like intriguing what questions people ask you, because it's still very complicated to me, and it's so hard to explain to your family and your friends too. I get a lot of questions like, are you sure you don't like men? Could be you didn't find the right one. People in my life tell me this all the time. Like, you probably didn't have good sex. You haven't found the right one. Give it some time. Wait longer. And I'm like, it's not the men. It's you. Because I used to blame every other guy for how I used to feel towards him. I was like, oh, I don't want to kiss him. Oh, I don't like when he touches me. It felt like really weird. Like, I just don't like physical contact. I think there was one guy in my entire life where I was like, wow, I feel so good with this guy. But again, I couldn't fully like give myself away. I was still like, oh, and like holding back a little bit. I'm just like, I don't like this. Like, this is so uncomfortable. But this was really hard for me to be this vulnerable with this guy. I love saying this because I'm sure all the boys that I dated are like, she's talking about me. Maybe my head is just too big. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, there was just one guy. Good luck finding out who it is. If you're watching this, text me. And there's a lot of, maybe you like girls. I think it's one of my podcast videos. I don't know, but this girl's like, I know you're gay. I know you're into women. Like, it's just so embarrassing and homophobic. And like, you love women, but you don't want to admit to it. And I'm like, what? Dude, I don't like women. Like, if I like women, I like women. Like, why would I hide it? Like, what's disgusting about it? I don't get it. But to be fair, oh, I have to feed my bunnies. Bunny! We're all having our dinner here or whatever. Where's my questions? But yeah, I'm not gay. I don't like women. I like men. It's also really fucking hard to like men, guys. It's really hard. Like, I'm really going through it. I had a lot of girlfriends all my life, like forever. I've always had a lot of girlfriends versus boys. And I just... You're so cute. What happened? Is the light so bright? I'm sorry. But yeah, I've never had a thing for any of my girlfriends. Like, I've never had like a crush. In fact, I wanted to beat one of the bitches up. So more hatred towards women than love. So I don't think I'm in love, Casey. Are you asexual or just virgin? Why are people sending me such pathetic fucking questions? What is that supposed to mean? You can be not a virgin and asexual. You can be a virgin. You can be asexual. You can be asexual after having a lot of sex. Let's say your body count is like 67 at the age of 18. You're a big slut. Everyone in high school hates you. You've slept with half the football team. That's okay. You figured out later on, like, okay, maybe I'm just asexual. That's totally fine. Believe it or not, a lot of girls have sex because they just want to have sex, just to like have sex. Bunny? Does being asexual have any negative impact on your overall relation with your partner? I've actually never dated or been in a relationship after I found out I was asexual, and I think it's gonna be a little hard for men to, like, the guy to understand what I am, and still figuring it out. I don't know how that would go. Also, there are such specific pointers that you know that you're asexual is like you can look at a naked body of a guy, girl, anybody, whatever you're into, and like it won't affect you. It doesn't, no arousement, if that's a word. You don't feel anything. You're not attracted. It doesn't do anything to you or for you, and you don't jerk off. That's one of the biggest pointers. I've watched porn. Like, I know what porn is. I see it, but like it's more of like a funny movie to me than like anything arousing. So when I used to make sex jokes, people would like comment like, why are you making sex jokes? Aren't you asexual? Like, yeah, I make killing jokes. Doesn't mean I'm a murderer. Like, it's... Someone's like, are you bisexual? No, I'm pretty much very much straight. It's just, it's hard to have a boner for a man. I don't know how you girls do it. If you could leave me some tips, maybe I might turn sexual. Maybe there's a cure for asexual. Let's just keep this comment section a little homophobic. So maybe Anncy can be normal again. Are you repulsed by sex? I think I am. This is so sad. And again, I need to find the perfect person. I gotta create a bond. Like a long fucking way to go, if you ask me. Do you think sex is something that's good only in imagination but not in real life? This is also very important. Asexuals, we don't imagine like sexual stuff. Like, I've never found any guy sexually attractive, or even a woman. Like, I was like, she's hot, she's pretty, he's hot, he's handsome, but not like sexually. And that's a huge big pointer. Big flag, babes. Also, you don't have celebrity crushes. One main factor is you do not have sex dreams. You do not have crushes on celebrities. So somebody asked me, what's the difference between asexual and not feeling romantic love? Aromantic are people, you know, this kind of friends, I'm sure we all have these friends who just don't date. Like, they don't ever get into relationships, and you're just like, okay, like, you're just never gonna date. And they're like, yeah, I'm single, I have a 0 body count, I don't have boyfriends. That's an aromantic person. Someone's like, how do I tell if I'm asexual, whether I am or I just haven't found somebody? A lot of people have sent me the same thing. It's just you don't crave it. It's not a need. Sex is a need in a lot of people's relationship. Like, if you don't have sex, there's no like connection. You don't feel like the person's into you. And asexuals have children too, so like they have to have sex eventually, so you can have sex and feel nothing, and you just want the baby, so you just do it. How do you know if you're actually asexual or just a freaking virgin who's scared of intimacy? Just so stupid. But on Insta, I follow a lot of women, like a lot of like hot girl celebrities. Like I follow them because for makeup or hair or like what they have to say, but I just never follow like hot, super handsome actors ever. I never found any guy attractive. And also, asexuality is not a lack of libido. A lot of people confuse the two. There are sometimes you just don't want to have sex with your partner. That's totally normal. Just know that asexuality is not a choice. You feel like this every single time, constantly with different people. I felt the same with boys I'd fallen in love with when I was in 10th grade, back all the way to uni too, and even now as an adult. Like now as an adult, oh, let me just say, I'm not even eating, dude, I'm so full. This should be just like Anncy swinging her chopsticks for 15 minutes straight. I remember in high school, I was like, bestie, I can't fucking wait to move out of my parents' house. Like every brown girl has said this once in her life. Like I can't wait to get out of my parents' house. I'm gonna have 10 fucking boyfriends. I'm gonna party every day. I'm gonna live in my own apartment. I'm gonna have my friends over, and I can't imagine having a boyfriend. I'm gonna date. I'm gonna be in relationships. Freedom, we crave it, you know. And then that happened. Trust me, I'm living the future you. So I said that when I was 18 in high school, stuck having curfews, and my mom like, no boyfriends. And like at 19, 20, and then even uni, I was with my parents, and then slowly like I moved out. I stay on my own now, and I can literally have any guy over. Do you want to know I've never had a guy over? Like ever? Never. I have a whole big old bedroom, and these two little bastards keep running all over it. If the cops come searching for the DNA of a guy who killed me, it'll just be these two. And even though I said those things in high school because I wanted the freedom, just not interested. Like I'm just not ever interested. I can't believe I didn't even touch anything, but I'm done. But just know that it's not specific, it's a broad spectrum. So you could have celebrity posters on your wall, but you don't jerk off. You could probably jerk off, but you don't find people attractive. That's totally fine. It's never specific. But fix her pussy. Or that sounds like mental illness, love. There's no medical profession in the world that defines asexuality as a mental illness. So like, I cannot just go fix my pussy. Did we answer everything, my children? I have anything else left? My biggest suggest is that don't fucking tell people what you are, because homophobia rules. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Maybe I am. I don't know. But yeah, there's also gray sexuality. Sometimes I feel like I'm a part of it. Okay, I'm gonna read some really fun questions. I'm literally done with food. Oh my god, this disgusts me. But somebody asked me, how do you survive without the pee-pee? Good question, babe. That's when you know you're fucking asexual, because women love dick, okay? Women, a lot of women I know love dick. Isn't it funny you love dick too? They're gay. I totally forgot to tell you they're both gay. Someone's like, this is so funny, I love this. Someone's like, do you watch porn for the plot? I do. You don't get porn here, it's like banned everywhere, right? So I actually, when I went to America, I know Pornhub is available there. So the first thing I do is when I land, all my friends are like, you've not watched porn. And I swear, don't believe me, I don't care. I have never watched porn until like last year when I went to LA or wherever the fuck I went. And I landed, and all my friends are like, we gotta make her watch porn. One of these girls showed me her own sex tape, and I was baffled. Let me just say, I'm just sitting here, I couldn't process. I've never seen something so disgusting. That's not turning on ever for me. I watched it and I was just like, what is this? And fucking entertaining. It was so funny. If you look at people's naked bodies, does it arouse you? No, it does not. Can you still go on dates even though you're asexual? Of course you can. You can date, you can have 5 boyfriends, you can cheat on all of them, you can sleep with someone's dad, you can sleep with your dad. Incest is allowed. I'm not judging. It's just that you're not sexually attracted to them. So yeah, you can pretty much have just sex and like not feel anything, which is a lot of women. A lot of women just have sex and we don't feel anything for the most part. So guess we're all fucking asexual then. Who did you come out to first? I don't think I really came out. Like I think my friends knew, like everyone knew around me like the way I was. Die. I will. We appreciate homophobia here. Did you come out to your family as I don't fuck? I think I did. And they were like a little sad. They're like, okay, so no more babies? No reproducing? I was like, nah, I don't think so. Would you feel uncomfortable being in a relationship with a person who has high sexual desire? I'm ace too. That is such an interesting question. I've always thought of it. Like, what if the love of my life, I have a huge crush on this boy, but he's like mad addicted to sex, like insane, like he just wants to bang, get railed every day. I think I would do it because like I don't feel anything and I'm not into it, but like if I'm in love with him, I mean in love. Like I've never been in that position, honestly. It's such a hard one, but maybe if I really like him. Most of my relationships would implode because they would want to be more sexual with me and I wasn't okay with it, and they would eventually dump me. Like the last ex of mine, he straight up wanted to bang me and I said no, and it was just really awkward and he was like so confused because we were dating. I understand we're in a relationship and you're supposed to be intimate in a relationship as everyone is, and I wasn't okay with it. I was like, I'm not ready, like I don't know you. But it was like 2 weeks in and I it's too soon for me anyway. I think 2 weeks is still very soon. I don't know, call me a little nun or whatever. This is a chastity bracelet. I'm kidding. But like, I think 2 weeks is too fucking soon. I don't know you. And yeah, he was really mad. Like, I think I hurt his ego Straight men are the worst. How do you deal with thirst comments? Very interesting. I actually don't flirt. I find it very weird. I've never sent nudes. As a child, I was like, this is disgusting. It's pretty much pornography. But now as an adult, when I can just send a titty pic to a guy that I like, I still choose not to because I think it does nothing for me or him, and I don't want to see D pics. Someone's like, I'm straighter than a Texan American man with a gun. What? Ever been with the girl? Nope. What is dating like? It's fun. I mean, I've been on dating apps before YouTube. I've gone out with boys through dating apps. I met really cute boys on dating apps. Have you tried sex toys? Oh, I have not. Would you have sex to conceive or go the IVF route? It's not like sex is gonna kill us, so like I don't mind having sex if I want to have kids. Like if I want to have kids, I'm gonna bang the shit out of my boy. Like, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do. Can we see your feet? No. Someone asked me, can this be passed to your kids? It's not a fucking disease, babe. I'm getting brain damage from reading this. Someone's like, you're missing out, love. I am. Like, people tell me this all the time. I remember a friend was actually having sex with her boyfriend at this one time, and she texted me. She's like, I just don't get it how you don't like sex. Like, you're missing out. You know that, right? Like, you're missing out. And I'm like, I think it's really funny. Like, I don't take it to my heart. I'm a very chill person. Like, in real life too, like, I don't care. I think it's pretty fucking funny when people come up with these such questions and comments. But yeah, I think I'm fucking done alright. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. If it wasn't, I don't blame you. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Subscribe, like, follow my Insta, and I will catch you